everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing wonderful. I am Pop Culture Curator back with another stream of musings and rumblings from the lab. This stream is an open topic, an open mic, and anybody and everybody is welcome to join. I threw a link out on Twitter, and hopefully, maybe I'll get some visitors. If not, sometimes that'll happen. My channel is still kind of small and struggling, so if nobody comes along, I can understand. But I'm here to entertain, and I'm also here for those that are watching. If you're here on the rerun, I hope you enjoy the stream tonight. If you like what you see and or hear, please click the subscribe button, and I really appreciate it. I know I don't do as many of these streams as I'd like to, but I'm trying to get in the habit of doing them more on a regular basis if I can. So what I'm going to do is I'll be starting here. I'm still sending out some invites here. Bear with me. Today is Monday. I hope it went well for everybody. I know it's been a kind of a long week and there's a lot of news to go on. Sorry, I was getting an echo. Everything's playing at the same time. I had to mute my YouTube and my Twitter all at the same time. And looks like we have Chris Longfellow. Hail, Chris Longfellow. So good to see you. I know Gorilla was here a little bit while ago in the chat, and he said he's going to hop into the shower real quick and then he'd be back. Chris, I don't know if you stream or not, if you ever get on panels, but if you do, you're welcome to this one. Or if not, you can lurk in the chat, which is totally fine. I know my Stream Elements bot says that it's running. I'm going to test it out here real quick. Here, see if I can send out a link for Gorilla to promote his channel. Let's see what happens. But what I was wanted to talk about tonight, we may have more people coming in, by the way, as we speak. An error occurred, of course. Oh well, that can happen sometimes. So usually with the my rumblings from the lab streams, I usually try to cover current topics, pop culture, entertainment, Hollywood related, or other things. We can lightly touch into politics. I just don't want to delve too deep into politics or religion. I don't want to upset anybody. I try to keep these streams friendly towards everybody if I can. But the first thing I wanted to bring up is, and I may not have a popular opinion here. I know there's a lot of news going on right now about James Gunn signing on with DC to take over the DC universe of their movies. And what strikes me strange is that there are several channels and streams out there, and some of them I'm a huge fan of. Some of them I have a lot of faith, or at least I used to have a lot of faith in them, and I've watched them ever since the beginning. And a lot of them are reliable. A lot of them you think, well, some of them may be rumors, some of them are reliable, but turns out a lot of what they come up with is true. But that's not my point here. What I want to speak of tonight. What I want to speak about is it seems to be, excuse me, unless I'm hearing incorrectly, it seems to be a lot of people have already convinced themselves that James Gunn is a savior of superhero movies, superhero TV shows, and the DC universe. Because of he has made, I know who James Gunn is. He goes all the way back to working with Trauma, with Lloyd Kaufman, and I remember his Slither movie and his other movies, low budget things before he hit it big. And I know that Guardians of the Galaxy was really popular. For me, I thought it was okay. I always, in my opinion, on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave the first Guardians of the Galaxy about a 5. It was all right. It's not something I would watch a second time. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was, I would give it probably a 4 or a 3. The only highlight, in my opinion, was Kurt Russell. I probably would not watch it a second time. But people, I've been listening. In fact, today there was a stream that which inspired tonight's stream. I listened to a stream earlier today on a relatively big channel, and which gave me the idea for the inspiration for this stream. And what I basically heard is James Gunn is going to save everything. James Gunn is going to save the world. James Gunn knows what to do, even down to the part where he's beautiful. We love his hair and all this. And I thought it was just like totally hyperbole and way over the top, in my opinion. I don't think the man is perfect. I know a lot of people out there were praising Peacemaker, the TV show, and I did obtain it and I tried to watch it. In the first episode, there's a little bit of banter back and forth between Peacemaker. He's in a hospital between him and a doctor, which was okay, I guess. But then the show immediately focused on two lesbians and a lesbian relationship, and I'm tired of that message being forced down my throat when that's only 0.0. I think it's less than 1% of the population. So that seems to be the agenda in Hollywood now: is childing and forcing gay relationships down our throat, whether we want to see them or not. That's fine if they want to do that, but that's just not my cup of tea. So I'm not sure why everybody is claiming that Peacemaker is such a fantastic show when it starts out with focus on a lesbian relationship. That wasn't my thing, so I stopped it. I didn't get more than 10 minutes through the show, and I got rid of it. I'll put it that way. Okay, and now I heard today that people were saying, "Wow, the Guardians of the Galaxy Halloween special, the greatest thing out there." And James Gunn wrote it in only a weekend. And I'm thinking, okay, he spent 2 days writing it. All right. So I was able to obtain that as well. And I've tried watching it. And the first thing I noticed is, I have to say, is I think a lot of people are getting jaded, or they're getting, I don't know if they're starting to fall for the propaganda, but it was 150% woke and terrible, and people are claiming that it's wonderful. And these are people that normally used to have a common sense head on their shoulders. But I'll put it this way, and I won't give away spoilers because I can't give away spoilers. I have not seen the whole thing of Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Edition. So what I noticed, first of all, is it starts out using the same set that they've used in all the Star Wars movies on the Disney lot. And then I noticed that we get, I am not kidding now, a few seconds, maybe a couple lines from Chris Pratt, and then immediately focuses on side characters, which means it's another bait and switch, which is Disney is really known for now. And who are the two characters that the show decides to focus on? Now, I'm bad with names, but for those of you who are aware of the Guardians of the Galaxy and who have seen the movies and the Christmas show, it's the lady who has like the antenna and black eyes, and then David Bautista. I don't remember his character name, but that's who the Christmas special decided to center everything upon. I don't know why. Those are not the characters that would make me want to see the movies. So, anyway, we get a quick bait and switch of Chris Pratt. He's only on it for a few seconds. And then the episode decides to follow, I'm just going to call him David Bautista and the Mosquito Lady, whatever she is. I don't know. Where they're heading to LA to try to find let's just say, a celebrity who's far past their prime. And every scene before they leave their ship, before they head to Earth, when they arrive to Earth, and when they're on Earth, every scene is the man looking like a buffoon, David Bautista, looking like a total idiot, the woman talking down to him, her correcting him, her reminding him where he is and what he's supposed to do. And I'm thinking, this is what people are praising. These are what people are praising, all right? I'm for equality. If they're going to have an episode based on two people, man or woman, two men, two women, I don't care. If they're going to have an episode based on two people, why do we have to have one where one of them is constantly putting down the other? And of course, it's always the man who's got to be the dumb idiot jerk, and the woman who's smarter who can teach him everything. And that's all I saw for the first. I think I maybe lasted 10 minutes, maybe at the most, of that episode, and I turned it off. That is not fair. That is woke. James Gunn is woke. I'm sorry, but I tried to watch Peacemaker. It was horrible. The movies, his Suicide Squad movie was okay. I would say okay. I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10. But the series, in my opinion, was horrible. They decided if they did not base the series and focus it on a lesbian couple, I could be wrong. I could be mistaken, but that is what it started with. On the very first episode, it started focusing on a lesbian couple, which I don't need any more of that. That's the reason why I don't watch Disney. So I I can see myself. I don't need people telling me what James Gunn is or how his beliefs are. I can see what he's doing. He's a far liberal. I can tell his everything he does is woke. The men are idiots. They're fools. They need the women to put them in their place and correct them all the time. The women do everything right. The men make mistakes constantly. Somehow they think that's funny, which I don't think it is. It's the same thing. I would not want a show where a man is constantly putting down a woman or berating a woman, and a woman's making mistakes and he's always correcting her. I wouldn't want that either. So the point is, their shows are they're not even 2 dimensional now. They're 1 dimensional. You've got to have that same horrible message out there, berating half of the population because they hate men so much. But what breaks my heart the most is online YouTubers who I always trusted and I thought had a fairly level head on their shoulders, seem to be falling for it. I think they're getting desperate, and maybe because there's nothing else out there. But I'm hearing praise about James Gunn like he's the second coming of Christ. He's going to come, he's going to save everything. We're going to have the bestest Superman movie. We're going to have this and that. And I'm thinking, I haven't seen anything. Well, it looks like we have our first guest tonight. Hail, Gorilla.
Hey there.
How are
Yeah,
you
I've been
doing?
here soon. I would have been here sooner, but I wanted to take a shower before we lose power.
That's quite all right. I hope you don't lose power. It's got to be cold there, right?
Yeah, we're getting an inch of ice, couple inches of the heavy snow, accompanied by 50-mile-an-hour winds. So,
Well, you have an alternate heating method, like maybe a wood fireplace or something, or what do you do for heating? Propane?
like, if I lose power,
Yes.
I got about 50 blankets.
Oh, well, sorry about that. Try to stay warm.
No, but
Or-
there's the thing with our town is we do got an emergency generator, but also if say the power lines in the alley go down, they'll set up an emergency shelter at the school that has its own power generator.
Right. When you say that they have an emergency generator, you mean for the whole city?
Yeah,
Oh, I can't see that being very reliable because, like you said, all it takes is for the wires to be down.
it's
Um,
well they our town actually has a really good grid set up there, and
uh-huh.
when we do go to power generator, like when that tornado hit last over the summer there that set the silo over onto the power lines coming into town there. It took them half an hour,
Right.
but they hit the generator up and going so we could have power to the town there. But then, um, but then what they did was ask people, please, if you don't have to run your washers and dryers, don't uh, turn off lights if you can. You know, try to save as much as you can, conserve as much as you can. They just ask you not to run your heavy appliances and stuff during the emergencies.
Well, that makes sense. But all I would be concerned with at this point is just running the heater.
Oh, I got space heaters if anything.
Well, if the power goes out, the space heaters don't do you much good. Is your house heater is electric or gas?
Uh, Natural gas,
Well, good then. What's
but
that?
it takes energy to run.
Well, yeah, you have you need electricity to thermostat and all that kind of stuff. But at
Yeah,
least the gas is cheaper is when it comes to your utility bill, right?
for the electric bill, yes, but for the gas bill, no.
Are you saying gas is more expensive than electric?
I'm not sure on that, but they're two separate things. I can't measure them together.
Oh no, but what I'm saying though, what in general is it's okay. I'll give you an example. If you have a house that has central heating and air, and the heater is electric, that is more expensive to run than a heater that is based on gas. Is what I'm saying. Just like a gas stove is cheaper to run than an electric stove,
Yeah. Well, it cost me
at
about
least
100,
so
150
far.
bucks a month to heat the house there in the winter. That, but
Right.
if I run the air conditioner, that jacks up my my electric bill by 75 to 100 bucks.
Even that's not too bad. Out here in California, when it gets hot, I've seen utility bills get as high as $300 or $400 a month. With electricity here, I mean, because we have the worst grid in the country. We ours is flimsy, and it relies on windmills, wind vanes, whatever you want to call them, that kill birds, and solar panels, and they hardly cover the grid at all. And that's why you're always hearing about rolling blackouts here.
Oh, I thought it was because the power lines go through the forest and the trees knock the power lines down or start the forest on fire.
No, no, actually, the reason why we have forest fires is because the state used to. I'll put it this way: for hundreds of years, even when the Native Americans controlled California, is during the off season in the winter, is they would go in and trim down all the dead bush, and the Forest Service would do that in the off season. They would trim down all the dead bush, and they'd build fire banks and stuff. That when the fire season came, there would be a few fires every here and there, but they were controllable and they were able to put them out. But the lobbyists and the environmentalists here in California got rid of that. They got rid of the trimming and the prevention, and now we have these wild forest fires that burn out of control that are worse on the environment than anything we ever could imagine. But blame that on climate control, right? Or climate change, right?
Yeah.
So, did you hear what I was talking about? My topic or the topic that I started off with tonight.
No, I was in the shower.
That's no excuse. You should still hear what I'm talking about. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so here what I was talking about before you got here. The biggest news over the last week or two is that James Gunn has taken over the DC movie universe for the superheroes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know who that is.
That's okay. That's why I put a poll in the chat. If anybody of you guys, if you see the chat, I asked in the chat if you trust James Gunn. If you don't know who he is, put that in the chat. James Gunn is the guy who made the Guardians of the Galaxy movies for Disney. Okay, he made Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, then they fired him. Then he went over and he worked for DC and he did a little bit of work for them. Then he came back to Disney and he made Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy the Halloween Christmas special. But then he just recently signed on over at DZ to take over their whole superhero universe. So a lot of people are claiming, like I was mentioning earlier, there's some streams that I usually I'm a regular listener of that seem to be really convinced that he's already going to save everything. He's going to save Hollywood. He's going to save the superheroes. That he and I don't know. I just, in my opinion, I think it's way over the top. I don't think the man is that good. I thought the Guardians of the Galaxy movies were maybe mediocre at best. What did you think about them?
I haven't watched them.
There's okay. There's a good idea right there. I guess we're on the. I guess this is not the James Gunn fan stream, people. If you're a James Gunn fan, that's fine. No, no problem. More power to you. Everybody has a right to an opinion. I just find his. I'm just tired of things being woke. And I'm tired of the far left liberal feminist agenda being injected into every movie. And that seems to be everything he makes and produces. Sad to say. But I myself am not looking forward to what he's going to do for DC. I know there's a lot of people who are already convinced that the man is a wonder kid or wonder kind or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not so convinced. And the only thing what really confuses me is they're already convinced that he absolutely will fix everything. And I don't understand why people fall into that same trap over and over and over and over. 3 years from now, his first movie is going to come out and people are going to be like, oh, well, yeah, it wasn't as good as we hoped, but it'll get better. And then we're going to get the same crap over and over. And then next thing you know, it'll be years of excuses. People make excuses. Well, he used to be, or he's trying his best, or maybe it's not his fault, or maybe his hands are tied. But I don't know. At this point, I don't think I really don't have faith in anybody in Hollywood. I don't care what studio they're working for. Nobody's going to save and just suddenly snap their fingers and get rid of woke. in my opinion. It's too embedded in the culture now these days. So, Gorilla, how's work today for you?
Oh, the usual. We're probably the tomorrow might tomorrow us out of towners might have the day off. Then towners will still be expected to come in.
Is that so you don't have to drive on the streets?
Oh, it's turning into an ice rink out there.
Oh, that's definitely not good. Yeah, your insurance rates must be killer out there. People always sliding into each other, or what?
No, not really.
Oh, well, that's good. Maybe a little more here. By the way, here in California, of course, Nut Farm, California, we finally get. We've had a drought. Everybody hears about. For the last week or so, we're finally getting some rain, and that's good. It's a good thing. We're finally getting some good rain. Naturally, people cannot drive. We're getting accidents left and right. The last couple of days, I must have saw 5 accidents. Today, this morning, I saw a car that was completely flipped over on the freeway. They're dumb and they're stupid and they're aggressive in California. You'll see people driving 80, 90 miles an hour, 100, cutting through traffic, weaving through cars while they're staring at their cell phone.
Yeah, we got a hands free law here.
Oh yeah, so do we. But does anybody follow it? Do the cops enforce it? No. Give them something they can make money off of, and they'll be right on it. And so, how is your Walton streams going?
My what?
Walton's streams.
Oh, pretty good. My last one had like 37 views.
Oh, well, that's cool. Was that episode 3?
Yeah. Now we're getting to the vegan one.
What's that?
John Boy has to go out and hunt a turkey, but he feels like he can't kill a living animal.
Oh God, what a man, huh? When I was a kid, when I watched the Waltons is when they first ran. You're talking early 70s, right? So I was 10 years old or younger, fourth, maybe fifth grade. And even then, I kind of wondered if John Boy was gay. So, what do you think? Watching it now as an adult, do you think he is or no?
No,
No.
because I think he has kids.
What do you mean? Because when you're watching the show right now, watching that show, he's a
Or
teenager,
later
right?
in the show, later in the series, I think he gets a couple kids.
Well, he probably does, but I think they did that because I think he did that. I think the writers did that because people wondered about him. I think that's the only reason why they had him have kids. He just maybe it's not necessarily the John Boy character, maybe the actor and the way he handled the role. I'm not really sure, but I always thought he was a little, I don't know, different. I thought the brothers. What is that noise? I need to check my computer. Hold on.
Oh, that's me. I'll turn my notifications off.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I need to turn off my phone too. Yeah, I couldn't believe it though. Like I was telling you the other night, they actually have ham here at Safeway for 99 cents a pound. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll go and buy a ham. I went to the store. The smallest ones were like 20 pounds. And I live by myself. There's no way I could buy a 20-pound ham and eat that before it goes bad.
No, what you got? You got? You got like a chest freezer or something?
Nope.
Oh, you don't got a freezer?
We have a refrigerator that has a freezer section, and there's one guy who lives here who takes up about 3/4 of the entire kitchen. And I'm talking about cabinets, counter space, refrigerator, freezer. He takes up almost all the space. So I only have a very small section in the freezer, and there's no room to put anything in. Like if I bought a frozen pizza, there's no room for it.
So yeah, because with the ham there, you just cut that up there and just section it.
That's what I used to do. Yeah, I would cut it up in slices and then put it like in Ziplocs and freeze it. But unfortunately, I have one person here who takes up the whole, and it's the same person who lives in the living room. He's out there right now. It's like, I'm looking for another place to live. I'm not really happy where I'm at. I know that's not really a topic to be talking on the stream, but I need to find a place where I can have at least equal room for what I pay because I do pay rent here. So, Gorilla, what do you have planned for Christmas? What do you have planned for the holidays?
Nothing on Christmas Day, but me and my sisters are gonna get together. I said I donate my ham to the for the supper.
Oh, that's cool. We're at her house or your house?
Her place because that's the only way we'll get Chris to to go to the party.
Who's Chris?
Her husband.
Okay, he won't go to your house.
He well, he's usually on call for his job, and then plus,
Okay.
he likes it at home, and plus, it's only 15 miles. Might as well go to her place. That way, I don't have to
Oh,
That way, I don't have to do special cleaning at my place.
yeah, you're right about that, right? And hopefully, he won't get there and then get stuck because of the weather, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad over there.
So, you see any good movies or TV shows lately?
I've been watching Prodigy. Been watching the Waltons, the animated
Prod-
series.
What's Prodigy? Is that one of the new Star Trek shows?
Yeah, that's the one on Nickelodeon. My kid really likes it.
Okay. I did download Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. It's a show on Netflix, and it's not bad. It's a kind of a horror anthology show similar to like Twilight Zone, and I recommend that if you like that kind of stuff. It's a pretty good show.
Yeah.
And there's something, there are a couple episodes that are kind of hit and miss, but most of them are good. I'm gonna I'm hoping too this rumbling stream, if I can come up with enough topics, I'm hoping to do this at least once a week. I always seem to run out.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of things to talk about. And as you can see, there doesn't seem to be very many visitors. Skogly,
Well,
welcome, Skogly. We have a new visitor. Let me show this here. Chris Longfellow
yeah.
says Skogly, and Skogly says Invincible on Prime is the most compelling TV I've seen all year. Invincible? I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
And Skogly says Chris.
Wait, is that animated series there? Skogly. I think I know what he's talking about. But
Skogly, go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to read this. Skogly says I'm more prone to let the grocery store pay for storing all the food and keeping it frozen. I just get what I need for the week. Well, I agree, Skogly, but when you buy small portions, they tend to be a lot more expensive. So when I
I
when I did have a freezer, I would buy like one whole ham, cook it, and then portion it up.
Yeah, I'm planning on stocking up on non-perishable stuff in case something happens.
Oh, it's a good idea to always do that, and especially buy stuff that will last, like canned food and stuff. Powdered milk, rice, that kind of stuff.
Oh, you keep your damn rice.
Not a rice
But
fan, are you?
no.
Here
And
we
the
go.
funny thing is, I was dating. Oh, my kid's mom is half Asian. Look at my kid, you would not think he was quarter Asian, but and then he'd be 1/16 Native American.
Nice. And Chris says, I sure enjoy how welcoming all you lovely people have been. It means a lot. Thanks. Likewise, Chris, I really appreciate you being here. Skogly says it's an animated superhero show and it is bloody and effing brutal.
Oh yeah, I seen it.
Oh, I have to ask you this. Is it animation? Like 24
Yeah,
frames a second, or is it like anime, like 8 frames a second?
I cannot tell you that. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I seen it because for movie night with Matthew, they showed like an episode of that before we got to the actual movie we were watching.
Oh, nice. Lemon Pie. Hail. Good to see you, Lemon.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
no,
usually I love animation. I'm just trying to do animated or not anime. I don't like the things that look like a slideshow. I need 24 frames, smooth animation. But that's
oh
just a
then it
nitpick.
is then it's 24. But no, with me there, I just come up with the week what I'm going to talk about with my random thoughts with Gorilla. Today's stream only lasted like 15 minutes, though.
Oh, okay. What was that about?
Um, talking
Oh,
about
Skogly. Skogly. Go ahead.
yeah, no, it is about making amends there. of people there. Reach out to the people who done you wrong, or someone you've done wrong and stuff like that. Because I've seen over the course, it came about when I actually had a person who used to treat me like shit in high school. There, they randomly messaged me out of the blue. I pretty much I was telling them that I didn't really want to talk to them. Then they apologized and all that, and we got to talking and stuff. But over the course of the last 5 years or so, I've seen so many people, they get into these fights, and then all of a sudden they stop talking to each other and all that, and don't stopped, and it's like, so I just kind of rambled on for about 15 minutes about reach out to the people. Someone has to make the first step of making amends and stuff.
Well, and it is the holidays, right?
Yeah.
And
But
Scogli, yeah, I just looked it up. And I do remember. I can't believe I forgot. Invincible, yes, it is a great show with J. Jonah Jameson, and I can't remember, but the guy who played Glenn on Walking Dead. It is a
yeah,
good show. So Invincible is good. I think there's been 2 seasons so far.
yeah.
And Lemon Pie says meringue. Lemon Pie says Scogli. And Lemon Pie says hello, curator. Good to see you there, Lemon Pie. And Chris Longfellow says Lemon Pie, hi guy. And hail, Captain Infinity. So good to see you there. Resolute German says hi all. But yeah, there's Invincible is it is. It's a pretty good show. I think there's been 2 seasons. I hope there's going to be a third one. I was watching The Boys. I really enjoyed that, but second around the end of the second season, it got kind of bad with a female Mary Sue, and then the third season of Boys, I was not a fan of because it reminded me of the first season of Heroes. It's sort of redundant. Lemon Pie says Captain. Chris Longfield says Captain Infinity. Hi there. I don't know how long this stream is going to be. It's probably not going to be very long because it seems to be random topics, and as soon as we run out of topics, I will cut it. We
Yeah.
won't you won't sit here and have you guys just listening to dead space. That's the
Yeah.
reason why I hesitate. I don't have these very often, as I won't come up and have these rumblings videos unless I have something to talk about. Originally, since this is Monday, we would be doing our Star Trek animated series review, but Anti-Derivative Jill is on an away team mission, and she's not available. But she will be back next week, where we will pick up where we left off, and we'll
Uh,
have the animated series episode, The Jihad.
oh.
Sorry, can you say that again, Gorilla? It was cutting out.
Oh. Oh, it's cutting out for me.
Oh, in the chat.
I think I figured out.
For those of you guys in the chat, can you please do us a favor? Is Gorilla and I are
It
both
was my
working on our
end.
audio. Okay,
No,
Gorilla and I
that
are
it was
both
my end.
all right. Gorilla and I are both working on our audio, trying to improve things so that you guys get 100% optimum quality. So for those of you in the chat, when you hear people breaking up, please let us know who and when, so we know
Yeah.
who. Sometimes if one of us is breaking up, then the other one, like if for me, if I hear Gorilla breaking up, I don't know if it's on his end or on my end or my headphones.
Yeah. No, that
But
was
if I figure,
completely on my end. That was
okay,
completely on my
well,
end.
is it something loose?
No, as a program I was running.
Okay. And hey, Scotty, good to see you. Scotty says ahoy. You all sound fine now. I hope so.
Yeah.
I got a new mic. And if this mic doesn't work, but this is my test for the mic, basically. So I figure I'll give it about a week or so, and if I don't like it, I'm going to send it back and get another one.
Yeah.
Scotty says lemon. Scotty says Chris.
Yeah. Well, it's me there. I'm still waiting on the guy there. They keep having me send different pictures of the chair. I am very uncomfortable right now with this chair.
Tell me about your chair.
Yeah. Oh, the bottom board snapped on it. I went rolling out of it.
Is that one of those Walmart specials?
No, an Amazon special.
So what are the pictures for? They think you're lying about a broken chair or what? I mean, why
Well,
would
they
you
want to know
lie?
what. Well, they want to know what was broken on it there, and they wanted to see the broken piece and stuff.
And did they say what they're going to do?
Not yet. I'm waiting on a reply.
Resolute says Gorilla has a very bad internet. Well, Resolute, I will defend Gorilla. He's also going through some bad weather right now too.
Yeah, Resolute. We got an inch of ice coming in, 3 inch or a couple inches of the heavy snow plus 50-mile-an-hour winds. So I got hopes.
Oops. Ahoy, Scotty. Good to see you.
Hey, I thought I removed you, Scotty.
You did, and I returned.
And Lemon Pie says Mr. R37. How are you doing today, Scotty? Tonight?
I'm doing really well. You know what? I think I've finally been bitten by the Christmas spirit, and I want to hang out with friends.
Oh, very cool. Always better with friends than alone, right?
Exactly.
Well, it depends on which friends.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Well,
about
Gorilla,
that.
I'm gonna have to put up with you.
Yeah.
I do miss having anti-derivative Jill here, but I know that we'll be able to see her and talk to her again tomorrow, so I will make up for it. And like I said, tomorrow, next Monday, we'll continue where we left off on the animated series stream.
It's a controversial episode.
Yes, it is actually the jihad. It is. It's going to be interesting to cover that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like I mentioned in our last stream, is I'm running out of episodes. We're going on to number 17, I think, and there's only 22 in total.
But your perspective in terms of like, I would say 1979 and before television, you have so much to mine. I saw a meme today, and I don't mean to expound, but I saw a meme today, and it was, oh my stars, what's his name? I forget his name, but he was Sex Machine in Dusk Till Dawn. Tom Savini.
Oh yeah, the great makeup master. Yeah.
Yes. And he was like, oh, that he was making fun of people. And it's like, whenever anybody says that that's an old movie, and it's like, it's not an old movie if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely true. I completely agree with that man. He's a genius.
Like, and I think that's part of the reason why you and I get along is like, I think I look back for the good stuff more than I look forward.
You are absolutely right.
Movies.
Yeah. Oh, talk about old movies and that. I had a miracle today.
Oh, tell us more.
Owen actually liked the original Buck Rogers.
Like with Gil Gerard?
Or do you mean
the black and white one?
Buster Crabbe. You're talking about Buster Crabbe. He was the original Flash Gordon. You're talking about like from the 1930s and 40s, the serial?
It's black and white. Hey, which reminds me, Pop Culture, I got a question for you. While we were watching it, I noticed that the picture was in the shape of a circle and it had black around the edges of it. Instead of it being square, it was more oval. What's up with that?
Well, I need to know which version you were watching. You don't know what year?
Yeah, black and white. That's all I know.
The whole entire show. Oops. There we go again.
What the?
Hey, Captain. Good to see you.
And goodbye. Thanks for having me, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Oh
no, wait. Hello. What? Good
too many people pushing the button at the same time. I apologize.
Well, I just thought me and Pop were right about the same time. Click add to stream.
Well,
right.
Plus Gorilla doesn't have opposable thumbs, so you got to forgive him for that.
Right, I figured out how to use that mouse somehow.
Exactly. Stop wiggling it by the tail.
But I am looking forward.
Said jihad. I thought I'd show up.
Well, no, that's not. Yeah, and we apologize to everybody who comes here for the animated series reviews, and it's amazing, Pop. Like I've said this before. I've said this since the very beginning. I have never seen the animated series of Star Trek.
True story.
Yeah. And Resolute, yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
And now you're a furry.
Well, yeah. And yes, part of that has to do with Star Trek, the animated series. It's not my... Maress is sexy.
Boom.
And
anyway.
Chris says, Scotty, Resolute Germ, hi there. And
hello.
Resolute Germ says, hello, Chris. And Resolute Germ says the one Londell put up right. What does he mean by that?
Oh, Mr. Londell, every day he puts up a movie, and right now he's putting up chapters of Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers.
Nice.
Buster Crab? Or just let
what?
off for the citation?
That's
Buster
what I
Crab, Buck
asked
Rogers?
Captain. Captain. I asked him the same thing. Is it Buster Crab? And he doesn't know.
Okay. Oh, because you got to go Crab. I mean, Crab, though, is one of those actor-character things. Buster Crab's so commanding. I don't know if he's Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon after a certain point, Scotty. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
here,
almost
let me
interchangeable. He played both of them, right?
Let
Right,
me see if
exactly.
I'll look it into it here to tell you which one here.
Deckard, Indiana Jones, whatever.
Yeah, I'll look into it here. Just give me a minute.
Well,
All right, 60 seconds on the clock.
Tomorrow is going to be an interesting episode when we watch Shore Leave.
Oh, that's right. We do have that coming up tomorrow.
Leave.
Oh, okay. I know. I think I know what the. I'll explain why that episode's an F.
I can't wait.
Already,
They're all
stock
Fs.
already ready.
The only one that you're ever going to give an A+ is
Yeah.
Spock's brain.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, 1939. It was
episode
1939.
Okay, yeah, then that's the original serials. They were originally like 15-minute serials, and people would go to the theaters and pay their quarter. And they
We've
would see
done some
25-minute
research on this. I think Flash Gordon, sorry, but just
Yeah.
to give you some insight, Flash Gordon, the TV show, predated Buck Rogers, but then Buck Rogers, the comic strip, predated Flash Gordon. Or was
Yeah.
it the other way around?
Yeah, and Scotty,
Yes.
it's Way to Eden that's gonna get the A.
Oh, that's the A? Okay, no, that's a good A. That's a good
That's
A.
the A.
Are you diverting our expectations, Gorilla? Subverting, I guess.
Diverting or
Subverting.
subverting?
Subverting.
Hey, brother.
So, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that there's that black round circle in the? Then it's an oval shape, and then there's the black surrounding it.
In
Yeah.
Star Trek?
No, in the Buck Rogers thing that I was asking
Oh.
about here a minute ago.
Very basic CGI back in 1923.
Well,
Or you-
the thing is that I have that serial on my server. I'm a big fan of those old serials, and it was shot in 4:3 film back then.
Oh,
If you're seeing a circle, I don't know what that means. I don't know what
Square.
kind of
Okay,
copy Londell is showing.
Yeah.
I'll
4:3 is very square, unless you're pro Zack Snyder, in which case to you 4:3 is like widescreen.
yeah.
Right.
Okay,
You know what I'm talking about, pro Zack.
I'll get it to the point where I'm talking about there, and then I'll share my screen.
Wait a minute. Are you talking
Just
about a
talking
certain
about
part?
Flash. Such
Are
a
you saying a certain part of the show did it, or the whole show is that way?
I think part of the show did it.
Well, then that's probably when they were talking to somebody on a monitor.
Yeah, they used to have those porthole window viewpoint TV screen things. It was like a ironic retro chic. It was a hipster vision of an imagined future that could never come to pass, or something.
Right. In a lot of those old shows, they would have, especially the future ones, they would have like a monitor or view screen where they're talking to somebody on it, and a lot of times those were round. So I'm guessing that's probably what you're talking about. I'm guessing they were probably talking to somebody on a round screen.
It's like when you say, "Why is Kirk on a flip phone?" when clearly he should be having a smartphone or better. But because Kirk's a bit of a hipster. Hey,
Not only
Scotty,
that, though-
look, I'm on my flip phone. Beam me up.
Not only that, though, what if all you have is a communicator and you want to have a private conversation that you don't want people to listen to, right?
There you go. Exactly. Back off, Scotty. I'm doing a dirty phone call with Sava. Exactly. No, that actually happened. But anyway, back to Star
Well,
Trek.
no, you can ask for a private channel.
No, what I'm talking about is imagine if Captain Kirk is in a room full of
Yeah, if
people.
you're friends with Uhura.
Right, imagine Captain Kirk is in a room full of people and he's whispering to his communicator. He doesn't want anybody here. He's saying,
I love
need
you,
you to-
Sarvik.
"Yeah, I need you to meet me in my quarters after work." And then she comes back loud on the communicator. What's that, Captain? Instant? Wait, what?
You want me to blow
what?
you where?
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Huh? Real
Around
loud.
the
And you're trying to
porthole,
turn down the
ideally.
communicator, right?
Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, but you know what? Like, James Kirk is a good enough of a strategist that if he's going to ask for any kind of sexy time, he's not going to do it over the phone.
No, or he can at least do it Morse code, like, dot.
No, I don't think he
dot.
sends. I don't think he sends messages. I think he
Getting a
shows up, gets
subspace message from the captain.
He's
Says,
a romantic. If he wants to make it with you, you'll know.
You're gonna know.
You'll know before he knows.
What?
Well, the ladies love that they're James Kirk.
Yeah. Oh, they do. Love the Kirkmeister. Loving the Kirk.
Even
And I'm
Janet
not
Land.
saying that. I'm not saying that in terms of making him some sort of weird. Like I know that people who mischaracterize James Kirk, they always say that he's kind of like a man whore, and it's like, no, he's not. He's charming. He's charismatic. He's in control. He does exactly what should have been done at the moment it should have been done. And you know what? That translates to a very attractive man.
Well, usually, from what I've seen, at least in my experience, the only people who say that are people who have not actually watched Star Trek. And second,
Or had sex.
that's if you take and remove Star Trek out of the 1960s mindset. Remember, in the 1960s, that's how all TV shows were, right? We saw Wild Wild West. James West had a new woman every week. I mean, every show in the 60s was like that. So it's not like they went out of their way to make Kirk a womanizer. That's just not how it worked back then.
Right.
Audiences expected it, in fact, including women. They loved to see that. They especially loved when Spock was having romantic interest, right?
Well, thank you, season 3. Yes.
What is this Earth thing they call kissing, Captain?
Oh, we make out now. They make out now.
They make out now.
No, but and anyway, yeah,
They use their
That's
tongue
why.
now.
But like Pop Culture Curator, I wanted to get together with you and talk about the differences. Like, because I don't know how old you are. I'm younger than you, I think, or at least you have an old soul.
Well, I'll just say I was born right around the time Kennedy was assassinated.
And I think then okay,
Yeah, I'm older than you.
that is correct, sir. But like, I would like to have a conversation about the differences between your perception of television when you grew up and my perception of television when I grew up. I was born right around when Superman the movie came out.
All right, 1979.
8. You
78.
even...
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Motion picture was 79. That's right. Duh.
No, you don't have to duh.
So I will say this: my era of television, due to my age and because of reruns. When I was a kid, it was mostly reruns. When we were kids, we didn't watch the news and soap operas. So I would say my era of TV was 60s, 70s, and 80s. By the time the 90s started, I had tuned out. I never liked reality TV. I never liked shaky cam. I don't like these what do they call it? These cop shows where they've got 30 spin-offs, NCIS, Bakersfield. I don't like that stuff. Repetitive.
Yeah, but that's a 2000s.
Well, I'm just saying, is everything after the 90s I wasn't a fan of. I think shaky cam was the first thing that got me off of television.
How do you feel about the X-Files?
Oh, by the way, X-Files. I'm glad you brought that up.
Ooh.
I'm a huge fan of Kolchak the Night Stalker, which inspired Chris Carter to make the X-Files. So when the X-Files came out, in fact, he even had Darren McGavin in one of the episodes, which I have not got to yet. So when X-Files was on the air, my mother was alive. She watched it faithfully and kept telling me to watch it. And I just wasn't a fan of the casting. I didn't like the lady who plays Scully. I think that's her name.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like her either. And I am in the minority. I'm glad I met you.
Actually, the three of us. I thought, what is this plain-looking woman that can't act? She was before Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't understand. People love
Yeah, I know
Gillian
that. She was like
Anderson.
FHM. She was like, that's the 1 month I didn't buy FHM, and that's the one that was apparently now a collector's item. No, I never
Look,
could see it with. It's a taste, isn't it? Yep, you never could
I'm
see it. No charm, no personality, can't act, and very plain looking. I'm very much indeed, yeah, Jennifer before her time.
I'm
I don't
happy for
mind.
her success. Like, I don't
Of
wish her
course, I'm
ill
not saying she's
will.
but she can't help being unattractive. I'm not saying she's a bad
Exactly.
person. She's
How?
done very well, in fact. She's gotten, again, like Jennifer Lawrence, I'm actually quite amazed she's gotten this far with her career with nothing to back it up. But well done.
Well, she might be a good performer. I just think she looks like Irish bread.
Well, I don't mean anything to disparage her acting ability or her looks.
But
The show
every
seems
time I hear her name, I just throw up in my mouth a little
Will
bit.
you please?
well,
Sorry.
it's just
Calm down.
I did try to watch it when it first came out, and it's just here's how to explain it. Okay, it just seems like the TV these days is there's a lot of talking heads, very little location work, very little scene going from location to location. There seems to be a lot of talking heads, and that's all I remember from when I tried to watch X Files. Anyway, I gave up. That was when it was new, which I believe was in the '90s. But last month, I decided I'm going to give it another try because there's nothing else on TV. So I thought, well, X Files was before everything was super woke, so I'll try it again. So I obtained the first season, and I've been watching it. And Gillian Anderson, I think is her name. She's slowly growing on me. Now she's okay. Her character's okay. I can appreciate the character. I'm on episode, I think, number 6 or 7 of the first season. But now, from a different perspective, I can tell you the writing is really weak. The episodes are really boring. There's a lot of talking heads, very little action. But I'm watching, hoping that it gets better. That's all I could say. I know it lasted for like 10 or 11 years or something, and a couple of
Something like
movies.
that.
So if you guys are more familiar with the series than I am, tell me, does it get better or no?
Oh.
Am I wasting my time? The
The
truth. The truth.
Well,
I
the truth
don't think
is I've
it's
never
quite-
watched it.
Game of me neither, but I heard it's not quite Game of Thrones, but I think it was more kind of quality dipped at the later seasons. I think is the general consensus.
I don't think it's up to us. Like,
Well, I know. Go
I
ahead.
think that you should watch the story, and if you don't like the story, get out when you want to.
Well, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm watching to form my own opinion,
Yeah, that's the best way.
and this, right here,
Like,
And
other
Stokely
people
says
may
Gillian
tell
Gil-
you, that it sucks, and you may miss out on stuff that you like.
I think
Well,
taste
that-
is the word we're looking for. Opinion, that kind of wheelhouse.
but I like that they went through the effort of having. Because basically, it's an anthology series with a monster of the week, and I like that. As corny as it sounds, I do enjoy that. And that's what the hook is. What got me to watch it.
Hey,
Stokely
man.
says, "Go ahead."
No, well, and pop culture, like, and I keep shaking your hand about being introduced to the animated series. The only reason that I'm watching the animated series is that I get to hang out with you guys and talk about it. Okay, and
I'm glad you enjoy it.
And I do. Like, I'm blown away from week to week for what I like, what I don't like, what I notice, everything. And it's just like, this is an incredible time to watch new old Star Trek.
Oh, that's true. That is absolutely true.
So I appreciate you inviting me on this journey. And so, yeah. I
Well,
like
credit
it.
where credit is
There are
due.
good
Credit-
stories.
Right, but I will give credit where credit is due. Is it was Jill's idea to bring you along, and I'm glad she did.
Who?
Yeah, that wonderful person, anti-derivative Jill.
I've heard of her. I subscribe
Yeah.
to her YouTube.
And I think she had a birthday back in the day.
I don't believe she ages.
No, she doesn't. Gillian Anderson, says Cogley, is far more attractive now than she was back in the day. So there we go. We have somebody who aged beautifully. Scogly says, I got the idea to go back and watch the X-Files, and when I see how many episodes there were, it was a big old nope. And Resolute German says, honestly, the X-Files were never worth it. Just watch the Duchovny directed episodes. Oh, interesting. That makes sense. The stars usually start off starring in the episodes, then they start demanding to direct. That sounds familiar.
Well, okay, so pop culture curator, if I may ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite Next Generation episode?
The one with Scotty in it, obviously.
Okay. Do you have a favorite Deep Space Nine episode?
Nope, never watched a whole complete episode.
You know what? I would recommend Blood Oath.
Well, I guess I already know the answer. Is Quark in it?
No.
Oh, well, then that's a plus.
Well, no, he's gonna be in it. He's gonna be in it. But okay, so it's Kor, Koloff, and Kang team up with Jadzia Dax to go find a bad guy named the Albino, and they go and they rain down Klingon hellfire.
And these are the actors from TOS, right?
Yes, sir.
I just wish they'd explain the makeup.
They're not gonna.
Well,
I know it.
They explained it in Enterprise.
That's a little late, isn't it?
No, but no, but we're not. No, we're. This is. Cap gets it. No, but this is a situation where they this is before they even said we don't talk about it with outsiders. Like, this is just nope. They're gonna show up now, and they're gonna have Star Trek the motion picture makeup.
I know, we all know the reason why is they had more money. I mean, yeah, duh. But within the story, it would have been nice if they would have explained it.
Well, and as Gorilla said, they do in Enterprise.
Which is that's pretty much towards the end of the franchise, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's
I'll agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, but it was good. It was a good storyline and a good explanation of why the Klingons changed so much.
Well, Resolute Germ says they explained the makeup in the motion picture. That's just how they always looked. They did? I'm trying to remember. I've seen the motion picture. I don't remember them explaining the makeup. Who knows?
Michael Westmore showed up and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am the makeup designer."
I have to admit this, and this, I know it's probably not a popular opinion, but I'm not a fan of the makeup of TNG, but at least it was miles above Babylon 5. Babylon 5 makeup was atrocious. I can't even watch that show because of the makeup.
Oh, wow.
At least TNG, at least I did watch it.
I don't even like Babylon 5, but I do think that their makeup effects were great.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's great. There's a certain character on there. I don't know what his character's name is. But there was a few characters, and then they showed one character, and it's like, no, that's not an alien from outer space. That's a guy with a bad wig. So,
you're talking about Malari.
He's
talking about Malari.
That's ridiculous for the 80s and the 90s.
First?
He's talking about the Centauri.
Whatever.
I don't know the name. I didn't watch the show. I did a makeup stream here a couple months ago, and I pointed out the character that I was talking about with the bad wig. And wait a minute. Yes, you're right. I think that was Gorilla that said it. When you said Stephen Peirce, yes. Stephen Peirce is the fat guy from National Lampoon's Animal House who said, "Oh boy, is this great?" at the end when he threw out the marbles. And yes, he was on whatever that show is, wearing that makeup that I hated.
The Balon.
Right, Battlestar 9 or whatever it was.
Babylon Galactica.
Babylon Galactica, that's it. That's the one.
9.
And I did like Stephen Peirce. Rest in peace, the poor soul. He did pass away.
Yes. And by the way, I'm sorry, I'm just getting this in from our news desk from Montreal.
This just in.
William Shatner, still alive.
Still alive. Sorry for all you people that have a poll going on there. Or a pool.
No, I'm the one. I'm the one with the death pool. I'm banking on tomorrow.
I'm banking on 98.
Age 98?
2098.
Didn't Betty White make over 100 or no? No, right
No,
before
she
100.
didn't.
That's
No,
She
right.
only made it.
2 weeks before her birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, poor thing.
I kind of, you know what? I think that Betty White had such a good sense of humor that when she died, and she had sold tickets for her 100th birthday, I think that she was like, I think she was middle fingers all over the place saying, I don't have to work that night.
Not only that, but she was extremely smart.
Yeah.
She was she loved being on a lot of those old game shows back in the day because she was married to
Yeah.
Alden Ludden, and she was a great game player, very very fast mind.
Yeah. Well, I think that one took everybody by surprise. Same with Queen there, because both of them were out and about like the day or two before and doing their thing, whatever. And then all of a sudden you get the news that they passed away. It's like, wait, weren't they out and about like just 2 days ago, all nice and fine?
Now, when you say Queen, you mean Queen of England or you mean Freddie Mercury?
Queen Elizabeth.
Okay, gotcha.
The second.
Because she was in a meeting and talking to some high some elites there like 2 days before she died. She was out about all cheerful and everything, talking to having some kind of meeting or get together party or whatever. Then
Party.
like 2 days later she was dead.
Yeah, she was breakdancing and everything. It's a shame. So I was talking to Gorilla before you all got here, gentlemen, about James Gunn. Are you guys aware of who he is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys have heard within the last week or two that James Gunn has signed on to be head of the DC universe for superheroes, right?
I didn't hear that. No. Okay.
Okay, so James Gunn made Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yes, sir.
And he also made Peacemaker.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I was telling
And the Suicide Squad.
Right, and the Suicide Squad, which I thought was okay. I thought out of all that I just mentioned, I thought the Suicide Squad was the best. But that's my opinion.
Seen it. I have not seen it.
It was an improvement over the first one, but
that's not hard.
I was mentioning earlier that original Guardians of the Galaxy on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it about a 5. And the second one, I would give it about a 4. The only thing I liked about the second one was Kurt Russell. Yes. Go ahead, Captain.
I'd give them both 11.5 out of 10. The best two MCU movies. And after those two, there's a real big drop-off. That's my opinion.
Well, what made me think about it there's some streams that I'm really very fond of that I've been listening to for a long time, and I was listening to them today, and that's what gave me the idea for the subject or the topic for tonight. Is people are overwhelmingly already convincing themselves that he's the savior and he's going to save the DC universe, that he's the master of superhero movie making and he can do no wrong, and they're even complimenting him on how wonderful his hair is. So my point is, I heard people praising his series Peacemaker. Have any of you guys seen that?
I've heard that it's good for people who like it.
Well, I've heard that too. I've heard actually really overwhelmingly that it was excellent. So I decided to give it a try. Downloaded the first season. There's only been one season, so I downloaded it. First episode, there's that first few minutes where Peacemaker's in the hospital. He's kind of going back and forth with jokes with the doctor. Then the episode immediately centers on a lesbian couple. So at that point, I pushed stop and I delete it because I'm not here for more of the message. If I want more of the message, I'll go hang out in a lesbian bar. That seems to be what Hollywood's full of. And my point is that I think people are starting to forget what they're here for. I think they're starting to fall for the subversion and for the reimagining or the social engineering. Then I heard that the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special was fantastic.
May I stop you?
Go ahead. Go ahead. You ever read
Yeah.
No,
it?
I'm trying to parse my thought, but I did want to interrupt you, and now I have to go on the fly. So,
Yeah.
what is it about a lesbian couple that stops you in your tracks?
Well, what it is because why don't you tell me what percentage of the population that is?
It's like 0.2.
Right. So why are all these shows and movies focused on that? Is my
Actually, it's
question.
probably like 5%. I think it's about 5.
No,
Well,
no,
I
no,
think
no. You're
no,
right the
no,
first time.
no, Scotty.
I
I
was
think you're
probably
thinking of the transgender percentages being 0.2, but I think the lesbian thing is probably closer to your 5% there.
like, well,
Nope.
but no,
Less
I
than
would like to
one.
be corrected. How many people are in who are lesbian? How many are lesbians?
I don't know how many are lesbians. I don't know if they've ever raised their hands and took a count.
Well, they seem to have a parade.
Well, they do. Well, they have a very loud voice, like a squeaky wheel.
Well, but and the thing is that okay, so do you have an issue with the relationships or just the amplification of those relationships?
The amplification of it. I want to see general. I want to see stuff made for everybody. I want to see stuff made for a family. I don't want to see any more them trying to social engineer kids and try to tell us this is the norm. That's gaslighting.
I have 2 nieces who I'm really hoping become lesbians. Like not together.
I don't know.
No, that was
that's
gross
your
and
that's your
abrasive.
well. I know that's what turned me off on the Orville. I'm not into trying to convince kids that they're not what they are. But the thing is that I just don't want to turn on the TV or a movie or a TV show and always have the message shoved down my throat. It's as simple as that. And as soon as I see it's loaded with the message, I turn it off because I don't need to have people preaching to me,
Yeah.
telling me what to think.
Well,
So that's why I tend to watch the older stuff.
when I was brought up in bars, there were a couple of things that you didn't talk about. And one of them was sex, the other one was religion, and the other one was politics. Now,
Right.
I thought it was always bullshit because I thought sex was funny. But now we're getting to a point where, come on, like, do you really have to make your sex a lightning rod of conversation all the time?
Right. Does everything have to center on your sex? Does everything have to center on who you sleep with? We don't want to know who you sleep with. Does that have to be the driving force of whatever your show or your movie is?
And that's what I agree with. I agree with you on that.
That was Peacemaker. But let me catch up with the chat real quick. Peter Jurassic was Malari, not first.
There's
He's
a
still alive, says
chat?
Resolute.
What? When are we
And
going
Resolute
live?
Germ says Resolute says he's head of DC Entertainment, including movies, animation, and TV. Yes, that's what I was getting at. And Resolute Germ says Peacemaker was pretty good. Cena was good in the role. Yeah, but I'm not talking about Cena in the role. I'm talking about the immediate focus of the first episode, which turned me off. The first episode, you're supposed to hook people in, not the opposite of that. Resolute
Well,
Germ says
no.
the message is in the series. The message isn't in the series. The lesbian is the loser kid of Waller.
Pop culture,
not-
go to the private chat. That's where I sent you my dick pic.
No,
Hey,
that's
how come
okay.
Pop gets 6? What about me?
That's okay. I apologize. I didn't mean to be crass.
Hey, Scotty, it's so small it didn't even show up.
Oh, no! Bitmap.
Oh, it's that one that's 1K?
It is. Yeah, it's the one that's so small you can't even download it.
Oh, I thought that was a period. Okay.
Hey, different gender, yo.
Okay. But what I was getting at is
Sir.
then I started hearing within the last week or two that Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special is so fantastic. You just got to watch it. You're just going to absolutely love it. So I watched that one today. That's what triggered my topic for tonight.
How was that? I heard it was good.
Well, let me put it this way. It starts off that it's filmed in the exact same location where they filmed all the Star Wars movies. So that's wonderful.
The volume.
No, I'm talking about the same backlot and the same props that they use for the Star Wars shows.
Oh.
So they didn't spend any money on locations. But here's what it is. The star of Guardians of the Galaxy is Chris Pratt. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me put it this way. It's about an hour long, the Christmas special. It shows Chris Pratt for under 5 seconds at the beginning It's the old bait and switch, and it immediately centers on two sub characters in the Guardians of the Galaxy. The lady who looks like a mosquito that has antennas with black eyes,
That's Mantis.
whatever, and David
I like
Bautista.
Mantis.
Alien.
That's fine. I'm not talking about the characters. I'm not here to give a review of each of the characters. But anyway, the show
Hey,
centers
Trip.
on her. Hey, Citizen of the Universe, good to see you, Citizen of the Universe 333, and Resume Sirs, you mean in front of a green screen? Well, no, there's also they show like a yard that has like it looks like bustling storefronts and things like that. It's the same area that they redressed for Andor and the Mandalorian and everything else over and over. But anyway, okay, so they show Chris Pratt for maybe 5 seconds. And they immediately get rid of him because they're not going to pay for the money. So they're showing that lady and David Bautista. And what they want to do is they decide it's Christmas. They want to go to Earth and abduct. I'm not going to give away spoilers because I know there's people who haven't seen it yet. And besides, I can't spoil the whole show. I didn't watch the whole thing. But him, the Mantis, I guess, and David Bautista decide to go to Earth to kidnap a celebrity who is far past their prime.
Mantis is a girl. She's a sister.
That's what I said. She.
Okay. You said anyway.
Her and David Bautista. So whatever I don't know his character's name, but anyway.
But Drax.
All right. So Mantis and Drax. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mantis and Drax decide to get a ship and head to Earth to kidnap a celebrity who's a has-been way past their prime. And anyway,
Kevin Bacon.
Well, I did say no spoilers, but considering Kevin Bacon,
but that's well known. It's well known about it. Like I haven't seen it, and I know that.
Okay, so all right, so when it starts out with, of course, it's like kind of like the fish out of water, that old plot with Dax and Mantis, Drax, and anyway, consistently in every scene, he's a buffoon, he's a fool. He's the butt of the jokes, and she's talking down to him, and she's correcting him and telling him what he's done wrong.
Who, Drax? Mantis
is talking to Drax like that.
Yeah, but that makes sense to the characterization of the two of them.
That's not what I'm here for. If they're going to have two characters, can't they be equal? Does it always have to be the man being a dumbass and the woman being smarter than him?
But I've seen, and it's actually kind of an endearing change of dynamic between the two characters, because when we meet Drax initially in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's the baddest motherfucker in the universe.
Well, now they've turned him into a cuck, just like Hulk and everybody else.
Hang on.
All
so when we get to the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, he is included in the family, and then he has to include someone else, which is Mantis. And so now, like, I didn't see Thor, Love and Thunder, but then in this, it sounds like they're like buddy cops. So I would be interested in seeing an exploration of Mantis and Drax. That sounds adorable in terms of the escalation of their relationship.
That's, if you like it, that's totally fine. I understand a different opinion. Myself, I see them feminizing another male character. They did the same to the Hulk. They did the same to Loki. They did the same thing to Thor.
Yeah, but I've had friends who were chicks who like they were like, you know, have you ever thought about this? And they made me a better person. And
think about this.
That's what friendship is. Like I've had dude friends who do that.
I've had male and female friends, but who wants to be around anybody, male or female? Who wants to be around anybody who's constantly berating somebody else?
I don't know.
I kind of like it.
Have you ever been? Have you ever hung out with Captain Coffee's spot?
Citizen Universe says, "What a coincidence! You're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. I just watched the first two films just a few days ago. I enjoyed them. They were really good." And Citizen says, "Hey, Scotty R37.
Hey, Trip."
Citizen says, "I had never seen them before. My expectations were low, but I was pleasantly surprised." And Resolute Germ says, "And she's screwing up as well." Resolute Germ says, "The point is they're both idioting their way through the situation to find a guy Quill was talking about to make his Christmas." Let me ask you this, Resolute Germ. How many times did he put her down, make fun of her? And let's make this equal, right? Not just one way. How many times did she look like a dumbass and he showed her? Think about that.
Okay, so I just recently watched The Princess Bride.
Okay.
True story.
And if you want to put someone in a characterization, and I'm trying to find, like, I agree that there has been a dropping of the ball in terms of characterization and storytelling in modern Hollywood. But if you wanted to make Drax a better character, you make him more like Andre the Giant from The Princess Bride.
I thought okay, I could be wrong. I haven't seen Princess Bride since the one time at the theater when it was new. But wasn't Andre the Giant like a big, gentle teddy bear kind of?
Yeah.
Okay, but then, all right, then I understand your point. But in my opinion, when Drax was introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy, what made me interested in his character is like, okay, this is a big badass. I can't wait to see what he does. The next thing you know, he's
Right.
emasculated and he's a little wimp with the women all talking down to him.
Right. But the thing is that when you first meet him, he's a badass who will absolutely
So was
tear out
Hulk.
your esophagus.
So was Hulk. So was Thor. So was Loki. So was Hawkeye.
No, I know, but isn't what you want ultimately, and this is not what I believe, but this is what I think that audiences want, is that with every subsequent presentation of the character, they want to be let into the heart of that character more.
Well, then why don't they make the women look like idiots too?
No,
I jokes.
I don't know.
Be fair, right? Why not make the
Yeah.
women look like buffoons as well, and have the men saying how dumb they look, right? Like they're doing the other way
Yeah, I
around.
don't know. I do not
Because
know.
I mean, that would prove to me, if I saw that, that would prove to me there's no agenda.
But now you're asking for specificity in storytelling.
No, just equality, not equity, quality. And Citizen of the Universe says, I love how in the first film, when Drax first meets Mantis, and he says something like, "You are absolutely horrifying to look at. His bluntness made me laugh."
Yeah,
and
there was
Citizen of the Universe says,
like, yeah, because he upset her unintentionally by pointing out he had no romantic interest in her because she's so hideous looking or something.
Well, I don't want to go all Jennifer Lawrence, but like,
first to do everything.
Everybody is talking about diversity so much these days, and I don't mean to be. I'm not even remotely talking about religious or racial or ideological or political or whatever. Like, get a library.
Mhm.
Go to a library, and that is the definition of diversity. What do you want? You want fiction? You want geography? What do you want? It's all there. If you want, it's yours to discover. Take a look. It's in a book, a reading rainbow.
That wouldn't. Resolute Germ says that would not fit Drax's character, and Citizen of the Universe says that's right, Captain. Yeah. And Citizen of the Universe says, "Hoy, Captain."
I really do think the dynamic between the characters, thanks to the writers and the actors, a big part of why they are my two favorite MCU movies. That, and I just like spaceships and robots and princesses and stuff. But
okay, Captain, have you seen the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special?
I have not. That's why I reserve judgment of not been entering into that debate. I don't even. Is it canon? Is it a big joke? Is it,
Well, it's directed by James Gunn, so
and he wrote it in 2 whole days. Isn't that fantastic?
Is it
available? Jill liked it.
Well, if you like it, that's fine.
For me, Avengers Infinity War was basically Guardians 2.5 with some boring bits featuring some superheroes.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Either way,
I miss strong alpha male characters who are not made fun of and jokes and feminized and emasculated is all.
Well, what is the last action, like modern action movie? You know what? Not even modern action movie. What was the last action movie you saw with a strong male protagonist that you were like, that's awesome?
Action Jackson.
You leave Carl Weathers out of this.
There's some independent movies that are not really big. I can't remember the name right now, but they're not big as far as on everyone's list to watch. But I can't. So I can't remember the name. But if you're talking about headlining mainstream Hollywood movie, uh, it's I would have to say not the last James Bond movie, but the one before that, maybe.
Oh, I didn't like that one. I like it, but I didn't.
Well, I'm just saying because he was a strong character then, but we also they did his character during the last movie. I used to like the Sylvester Stallone movies
Like
because he was
the Expendables.
that's it, Expendables, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But and those were good. I enjoyed those. But I don't see them. I
Well,
mean, we all know we're not imagining things. Hollywood does not want to show alpha male, especially white characters anymore, right? I mean, we all know that. There's no secret there. A lot of them can't even get a job anymore. Screenwriters can't get a job. Directors, producers can't get a job because of the color of their skin. And diversity, I'm all for, but I'm for natural diversity, not forced diversity. Where by forcing diversity, you're excluding certain races, which tends to be Hollywood, in my opinion. They'll say, "Oh, look at that diverse cast," when they point towards Wakanda Forever. When I don't find that cast diverse at all. Do you?
You know what? I think, and this is unfounded, but my opinion is that Hollywood, as like I don't even know what that means, Hollywood, the movie making industry is scrambling all over the place. It does not know where to go. The distributors, the exhibition houses, theaters, no idea what to do.
Well, they can only exhibit what they're given, so they have no choice.
No, but I'm just saying that no one knows what they are doing right now because of the disruption in the process of exhibition.
Well, they
Like
seem to know they have
everyone,
that agenda. They're pretty much they've agreed on, right? Because it's on everything they make now. So I think they've settled down on that. Look at Willow. I won't even go into there. I mean,
oh, but you just did.
I just did, and I got out again.
Oh,
did you watch it?
I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch another show based on lesbian characters, especially children. Children lesbians, even.
It's interesting. They did an effective retcon via an unreliable narrator.
I have a lesbian children.
They do. I'm not kidding.
That Val Kilmer out the doors, the Queen's basically going, yeah, he was a terrible person, that mad monarch, and he was a thief. It's like he was the fucking male lead of the movie. And then meanwhile, there's this evil bitch witch queen killing babies, going, yeah, she was a bit naughty. So there is an unreliable narrator effectively retconning the original Willow movie. So it's actually quite interesting. There is a point to be made here. They are deliberately changing and indeed reducing the testosterone fueled content. So, you brought up Willow. Yeah, no, they showed their hand. They made it too obvious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like Star Wars and everything else Disney gets their hands on. There's no surprise, right?
Well, we haven't.
Go ahead.
We have an incredible opportunity right now, like physical media of old, like the older movies, the things that were good had balls and backbone, whether it be lady or dude, it doesn't matter. It's like if it was good and it had something to say instead of being 4-quadrant pablum.
Right. I'll give you an example. Like I actually liked Thelma and Louise. But and because it was a good movie and it was in itself a good story, and that wasn't an agenda by the entire studio.
I thought it was Harvey Keitel's agenda.
And Resolute Germ says, no, it's not canon. Christmas specials are never canon. Yeah, tell Star Wars. Citizen Universe says Jens would know. Jens Petter? Yeah, I guess he would know, wouldn't he? Too bad he's not here. Captain Infinity says it's a dream sequence. Captain Infinity says, I mean, it's the same medium. And Citizen Universe says Jen's all about masculine action movies. Yes, he is. And soy nerd bitches, as he says. And Resolute Germ says maybe the last Bond, not Daniel Craig. You know, you're right about that. Daniel Craig was kind of a so-so. And Citizen Universe, wait a minute. No, before him was Pierce Brosnan. He was definitely, I don't want to make anybody mad, but I'll say Pierce Brosnan was my least favorite Bond. Citizen
Who was
Universe
your
said
favorite?
He's
Roger
my
Moore.
top 3.
Okay.
Yeah, Roger Moore was my favorite. Citizen Universe and
It was-
Connery was second. Sorry, Captain.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Nah, he was first. Then Moore.
That's cool. And the only reason why I have to say I'm partial is I used to watch Roger Moore back from the series The Saint.
The
So
Saint.
I used to watch it and I loved that show. And then I used to watch that and the Avengers, the 60s, both 60 shows, and I loved him. And then when he was hired to do James Bond, it was like, oh my god, it was the best thing ever. That
The
shows my age
Saint
for
with
sure.
Val Kilmer.
The Saint was a TV series starring Roger Moore that was out before. It was in
Oh,
the
no.
60s. It was yeah.
No, it's a movie with Val Kilmer.
The movie was crap. I don't want to swear, but yeah, the movie was crap.
Crap
series-
is not
the
a
series was
swear.
excellent.
You all. You.
No, I said
you
I don't want to swear, so I'm
absolutely-
saying crap. I'm saying crap instead of SHI, whatever.
All
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
And Citizen of the Universe says he keeps saying Accident Man
Shit.
1 and 2. Yeah, those are good. Yes, that's some of them. They're on the top of my to watch list. Yes, Accident Man is very good movies. That's an example of what you were saying about movies that have masculine men. But those are independent movies. Hollywood seems to be all about streaming content now. Resolute Germ says, I don't want the original Willow, so I was never going to watch the reboot. I'm not a fan of the original Willow either. Sorry, everybody. Resolute Germ
No,
says,
I'm.
watch.
No, I don't care.
And Citizen says 100% Scotty, physical media, which I totally agree with.
Yeah, physical media.
Resolute Germ says the only right answer is Connery.
And then Captain says Connery ain't even top 3.
Connery ain't even top 3. I just thought, okay, Pierce Brosnan, he was okay, but I don't think he
More.
I don't think he was convincing as a strong man. I don't think. I mean, Pierce Brosnan always saw him as a metrosexual. I don't want to offend anybody, but he's just not very masculine or like a strong, dominating. Somebody you can kick ass. I just never saw Pierce Brosnan as that.
You know what the answer to that is?
What's that?
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, very similar to Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton was hardcore. He could kick ass.
But he only made one movie, right?
2.
2 James Bond movies?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a pyramid. One made 1, one made 2, one made 3, one made 4. One, isn't there? Isn't there, Scotty? Lazenby made 1. And then...
That's right. Lazenby was the one that made 1. That's right.
Yeah. Then 2 Welsh ones.
There was no 3. So your whole theory falls apart.
No one's made just 3.
No.
Computer? Oh, well, then that's the one. That's the exception that proves the rule. But there's 4, 5, and 6.
Either
And
way.
7. Moore did 7. He did more.
Mm-hmm.
Connery did 6, but Moore did more. Well, unless you count Living Daylights or Never Say Never, Say Never, Say Never Again.
How many did Craig
No
make?
one did 3.
5, I think.
I think Brosnan
He
did
did
3.
Casino
didn't he?
Royale, Quantum, Spectre,
I like Skyfall. That was my favorite of all of his.
and
I think someone did
No
do
Time
3.
to Die. So 5.
Brosnan did 3. Didn't he?
Sorry, what?
Brosnan did 3.
No, Brosnan did.
Oh, yeah, more than
4?
that, didn't he?
GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yes. Yes. So I think you'll find the series
Die Another Day, and
that's
then
3.
the one with Sophie Marceau.
Okay, that's 4 then. I still maintain someone did 3, and if not, make it happen.
I don't think anybody's done 3. No one's done.
Right,
3.
computer, can you list every James Bond actor and how many films they did?
Alexa, look up Ava Delush.
That we all agree that George Lazenby did 1, so we're all agreed
Yes.
on Lazenby. All right, and we're all agreed that Dalton did only 2.
Scoglie says Bronson did 4. And Citizen
Okay,
333
Bronson.
says, hey, Scoglie.
Charles Bronson played James Bond. My goodness.
So
Well,
did
that's an
David
interesting
Niven.
one.
David Niven.
Unfortunately, yeah, Casino Royale, the original.
Yeah,
Then what about
pop
Peter
culture
Sellers?
gets it. He did.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
one of them wasn't actually James Bond, so he wasn't playing James Bond. He was playing another person called James Bond.
True.
Nah.
David Niven was okay, but he's another one I wouldn't see as very physically foreboding.
But Woody Allen should have played Superman.
I still wanted Clive Owen to be James Bond. I thought he would have been good.
Yes. Oh, yes. Would work.
Resolute Germ says
Would be
world
a
is
great
not enough.
asset.
And Skogly says GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, the world is not enough, and Die Another Day.
There you go.
Thank you. Those are the Pierce Brosnan James Bond movies. 4
Wow,
of
it's
them.
interesting. Yeah, I thought it was more than that because he played James Bond for so many years. But then when you think about it, there's what, like 5 or 6 years in between each movie, I guess.
Big gaps.
That's why they aged so fast. When you go back and look at him now, it's like, well, they didn't really make that many movies. It's like, well, it's because they were spread out so far apart, I suppose. But let me ask you guys this question. On the horizon, as far as TV shows or movies coming out with a starring masculine alpha male white character who kicks butt, what do you guys think? Anything coming out?
I was going to say John Wick 4, but then you brought race into it, so I'm out.
Well, because they seem to not, Hollywood doesn't seem to like white men. And I'm not saying I'm a white man, by the way, I'm a Native American, but that seems to be the race that they want to delete, all in the name of diversity, apparently.
Like, I'm not looking forward to John Wick. I don't care. I am looking forward.
Captain is right about John Wick, though. He is a heterosexual white male. So there you go. Yes, Captain.
Yeah. I just don't care about that movie, really.
Okay.
I am looking forward to the new Ant-Man, but that's only because my name is Scott, and so is the protagonist, and so that doesn't happen very often.
Well, you'll get him in maybe 10 minutes of the movie.
Well, you know what? As far as I know, there's going to be a lot of women screaming my name. So I'm going to go pay money for that.
Hopefully it's not in anger.
Yeah.
Well,
Scott,
no, some of them they're going to be needy. They're going to be like, rescue me, Scott.
I'm hot for you, Scott. Please.
Well, Scotty,
give it to me. Yes.
Scotty, with that logic there, then you must really love Eurotrip, especially when we're all singing Don't Tell Scotty.
No, that actually emasculates me. I don't like that one very much.
And Resolute Germ says Tomorrow Never Dies was his best. I don't know. I like GoldenEye, but maybe it's the game that I keep thinking of. The game was
no,
cool.
but I love. No, you know what? I appreciate. I appreciate GoldenEye very much, but I think that Tomorrow Never Dies is a better movie.
We lost Captain.
Yeah, we lost Captain. Captain, hopefully you come back. Maybe he's having technical difficulties.
He was apparently in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Oh, everybody's getting that. So is Gorilla. So if Gorilla loses power, we'll know if he drops off.
Yeah. Well, ours is ice storm.
But it still knocks out your power, though, right?
Oh yeah, because the ice will cling right onto the power lines.
Boo.
Yeah, being from California, they wouldn't know what to do if they had an ice storm. Like I said, rain comes along and it throws everybody out of whack. And Captain Bennett, hold on, let me show this here. Captain Kennedy says, bear with me, it's the NSA. And the game was definitely better than the movie, says Resolute Germ. That I agree with. Citizen Universe says, LOL, when you said protagonist, made me think of Mr. Plinkett saying protagonist. I love Mr. Plinkett and Red Letter Media. But
what? Yeah, no, I guess Ant-Man, and that's it. I don't really have anything else that's really got like white dudes that I'm looking forward to.
Well, let me ask you this: when Ant-Man comes out and you watch it, and if it's true that he's mostly background and all the women are front and center, would you find that disappointing, or do you think you're okay? Are you fine with that?
Well,
welcome back, Captain. Welcome back.
I don't know what you mean by background.
Well, just like in Ant-Man and the Wasp was in most of the movie, and he was only in a few supporting roles. So, and I'm thinking he's going to be even less in the new movie. That's my point.
I found Scott Lang to be front and center in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I'm not debating that, but try to remember now who the antagonist was and the fight scenes with the antagonist.
Ghost.
And it was the Wasp that fought the Ghost most of the time because they're not going to show a man fighting a woman. They're
Right.
definitely not going to show a man hitting a woman.
Right.
So, and by the way,
bullshit. Like, I'm totally fine with calling that out.
but they're not going to show that. But I used to read the Ant-Man comic books, and he was not a joke, and that's what he is in the movies.
Yes.
Right, another Disney character turned into a joke. Another man turned into a feminized joke, a cuck. He's a cuck.
I don't think he's a feminized joke or a cuck. I think that what's the name of that fella who plays that there Ant-Man?
Kurt Russell.
Who plays what?
Who plays the Ant-Man?
Michael Douglas. The other guy.
Paul
comedian.
Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Paul Rudd.
I don't think
Paul Rudd.
that
Get a
he's...
better agent and a better name, will you? That's not exactly memorable.
I
is
don't
it?
think
You're not
he's
exactly
good.
blowing up IMDb, are you? Paul
He's
Rudd.
a comedic actor. He's a comedic
with
actor.
Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd played Ant-Man. There you go. Final answer, Elmer Fudd. Rhymes with Paul Rudd. Paul Fudd. Be very, very quiet. I'm Ant.
He's a comedic actor who I think fulfilled the role very well. And I think that one of the complimentary things about the relationships within those movies is that it is Hank Pym, Hope, Scott, and now Janet. Like, I appreciate it.
You think Michael Douglas is going to have a big role in it?
No.
And that was the original Ant-Man.
Yes. So?
Well, I happen to like Michael Douglas. I think that's a shame.
It's built-in mythology.
Well, how about this?
All Michael Douglas is built-in mythology.
Well, I'll give you this. Why can't they at least give Michael Douglas equal screen time with Michelle Pfeiffer? But no, she's going to... Let's see, between those two, who has more screen time? Right,
well, to be fair, I would rather see more Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, then why don't we just get rid of the men altogether?
No, I'm just saying Michelle Pfeiffer is very much more attractive.
Well,
I would like to see her.
She was at one point, but she's all right. I don't mind her character.
Oh, I saw you were rude to Beverly D'Angelo today.
Oh, I will be rude to anybody who has had botched plastic surgery. I'm an honest man.
All right.
She looks like she's been through a fire, just like the rest of them, unfortunately. It's sad. She used to be so natural. Her natural beauty, she used to be one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. And now she looks like another plastic thing you see in the window and down Beverly Boulevard.
Down Beverly D'Angelo Hills Boulevard.
I saw you say so, yes.
And you notice that what's her name was also in the picture, and she looked absolutely stunning still.
Chrissy Brinkley?
Yeah, she still looks great for now.
I was guessing.
All right. It's always a matter of time until they get under the knife and they have that plastic redone. And then when they do, it's like, ugh. The plot is supposedly Ant-Man going to rescue his daughter from Kang. So I think he's going to be in it a lot. Well, Resolute, I hope you're right. But I have a hunch, and I can tell I saw the trailer for the new Ant-Man. And let's just say I think the Wasp and Michelle Pfeiffer's character are going to be front and center in most of it. But hey, I hope I'm wrong.
That's why you can't have the Wasp front and center, because of race politics.
Well, even on the movie poster for Ant-Man and the Wasp, she's standing in front of him.
Come on there, work with me.
Even on the movie poster for Ant-Man and the Wasp, she's standing in front of him. He is behind her.
Well, Captain, pardon me, pop culture. Do you think that I have a narrow view because I am not anticipating certain movies based on their...
Yes.
Oh, categories.
Patience.
Like, what is it?
No, I don't think
like, I'm not looking forward to white guy movies. I'm looking forward to movies.
I'm looking forward to movies where everybody's treated equally, but yet the star of the movie is the star of the movie. I don't want the star of the movie being a background character. Otherwise, just change the name to The Wasp, starring blah 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 blah, and time permitting, Ant-Man. Just be
Time
honest about it.
permitting.
Have you seen it?
If you get the deleted scenes,
Right.
time permitting.
Well, have you seen it?
I saw the second one, and I saw the trailer for the third one. And this is
Well,
a Disney movie we're talking about, so I'm also going on the recent history with Disney.
all right. I
You're
would
doing
recommend-
a
recommend.
hard face palm, aren't you, Scotty?
I would
could be
recommend
wrong,
that
like
you
I said.
watch. Well, no, but I don't. I think that any movie that you go into with a preconceived notion is a movie that you are undercutting.
Well, when they're
Prejudging,
full
you
of
could
agenda
say.
now and preaching at us, I mean, how can you not go in with that? If I knew the movie did not have an agenda, I would have an open mind like it used to be. But when I know there's going to be an agenda and they're preaching at me, I have to go in on the defensive. I have no choice. And unfortunately, the way they are now, especially Disney's a perfect example, is they need to prove to me that I'm wrong first now. And I haven't seen any example of that. We
But
all
you're
heard.
treating.
You guys
you're
remember a couple
treating
years ago?
all.
I'm talking about Disney movies and their superhero movies right now. But you guys remember a couple years ago when Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger
Never
had
heard of
come
it.
up? They'd come up with an idea of a TV series together where those two, I don't remember the plot or the name, but they came up with the TV show because those guys are friends in real life, and they were shopping that around the networks. And the network specifically told them they did not want any shows starring two heterosexual white men. The shows have to be female-led and female-driven.
So,
I'm not imagining that.
what year was that?
About 2 years ago.
Oh,
It was in the press at the time because what I saw was the interview with Sylvester Stallone saying how that was terrible, which it was. And Disney has come out and said it. It's part of their social reengineering, right?
I know you guys. Well, you do talk about the social reengineering quite a lot.
Well, because I'm not going to forget about it. They said it, and I'm going to remind everybody. I didn't come up with the term. Disney did. Remember remember the not so gay agenda video that was released? Remember that?
Well, I'm not so gay.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you guys have all seen the
Why
video
do
with
you-
the Disney employees saying how they're injecting gay into everything, right? You do remember that, right?
No. Well, I do somewhat. But this is the thing: is like when everyone goes all cuckoo bananas for Andor,
Cuckoo bananas.
and
Why
I'm
do I
just
want
like, this is
Cocoa
the same shit that you guys were all saying. This was the worst corporation in the minds of children, and then I'm just like, you know what? I like She-Hulk. I'm done.
Well, I didn't watch Andor, so I don't have an opinion.
You
I'm
know
done
what?
with Star Wars at this point.
I am about to release so many deep fakes of She-Hulk having sex. It's gonna be great.
Okay. I thought that was the whole point of her series, wasn't it? Her trying to get laid and then trying to teach men and put them in their place, right?
Yes, yes.
And they even, what they do to Daredevil? Can you please tell me when he's walking along with his shoes in his hand?
That was funny. I thought it was funny.
Another character, another strong male character. What? Uh-huh. Feminized,
What are you saying that a man
emasculated?
cannot?
Huh?
He was not emasculated in that show. If you
Men
think
do
he
not walk
was,
home barefooted with their shoes in their hands.
Sure, they do.
That was obviously written by some middle-aged virgin.
I thought it was funny,
Well, okay,
and I'm a
but
Daredevil fan.
that's fine if you like it. I'm not knocking your sense of humor, but just talk about about the ratings and the overall audience.
I
score
thought it
on
was the
She-Hulk.
best episode ever. Says Kingpin of Crime of Manhattan.
And Resolution says, I don't know anyone serious who actually liked Andor. I don't know.
I never
either.
saw it.
I know how he dies later, so there's literally zero tension and there's no point watching it.
The only thing I can tell you
That's
about
mine.
Andor, good or bad, it's too late. people already are not going to watch Star Wars anymore. So it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Nobody's going to tune in.
I mean,
Even
if
the
they did,
director did an interview. Said he said they were chasing after the audience. Well, whose fault is
Well,
that, right?
Are
yeah,
are
he
you
has to
guys
come-
even
he has no
remotely
audience.
looking? Are you even remotely looking forward to the new Avatar at all? Ever?
Not me. Not me.
It's too late. It's too late.
Do I
The-
want to see our
all
message?
all the excitement's gone because they waited too long.
Yeah.
And do I want to watch another 3-hour message about the environment, climate change, what we've done to the planet, and colonialism? No,
yeah.
absolutely not.
Oh.
Nope, not for me. James Cameron is good with the look. He can do it. He can excellent special effects. I'm not going to knock that. He knows how to make things look good, just like Zack Snyder. But they don't know how to write a script.
Oh, wait a
And
second.
a-
Hang on.
Yes.
James Cameron is one of the most talented directors of our time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he got sucked into Avatar.
Wait. Against his will? Tell me more. I thought it was his baby.
Whether or not it's his baby, that is not my problem. And I'm sorry, I'm sort of like, we've lost James Cameron to the Avatar. As far as I know, he's gone.
Well, you've also lost James Cameron to the far left. Remember now, he told us testosterone's a bad thing. Shame on us.
I didn't
Yeah, that was
watch
his
any of
thing,
that
Tate.
stuff. I didn't even look at any of that stuff.
No, but he did say it. That doesn't mean he didn't say it because you didn't hear it.
Well, I didn't hear it. Do you want to
And
explain
I love
it
how
to
he said
me,
that. Right
or
as his
can-
big.
You explain it to me while I
Yeah,
go pee.
he said. He said the testosterone was toxic. So yeah, I'm going to pay to see a movie made by one of the biggest, richest cucks in the world. No thanks. And we have a comment here from Resolute Germ. The first Avatar was shit. Why watch $1 billion sequel? Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but Resolute, I agree with you 100%. When I walked out of that movie, in fact, I can be honest and truthful. When I walked out of Avatar in 2009, I said I've never, ever returned to the theaters because of that. And I have not been back. I even kept my word. So there. So all the more reason why I won't go see the second one. If I haven't seen a movie between 2009 and now, I'm definitely not going to make it my effort for the first time in 12 or 13 years to go see Avatar 2 when that was one of the worst cinematic experiences of my life in the first place.
I think if
And
we
Resolute
got
Germ says it was
what are the blue
from
things
concept to
called?
theater room, it's all Camp Commune.
Nauvoo, something Viet Cong.
Something
Some of
like
them went
Naboo.
topless. No, but if we
Navi.
Navi, if we get topless Navi, I'm in.
But even then, it's just animated. I mean, you can get animated cartoon porn on the computer.
That's true. I can make my own animated cartoon porn. I mean, these days you could probably have a real life cartoon porn experience.
Nope. Yeah, I probably could. VR, even VR. Everything's virtual reality now, right? According to Meta, I mean, they want us.
It's the right combination of barbiturates, uppers, downers,
Schlitzenberger,
screamers,
whatever his
wankers,
name is, wants us
neuron
all over.
bugs.
Yeah, Zuckerberg, whatever, wants us all over 10-pound headsets and live in a VR world, right? Forget about reality. Just tune into Meta 24 hours a day.
Mark Zuckerberg, I've got no legs.
Don't worry, VR will fix that.
No, he's got no. There's no legs in the VR. Third
And
richest guy in the
Resolute-
world. You couldn't spring a few bucks to animate some legs, motherfucker.
Well, he was too busy playing down in the water with the Titanic for all these years. I think he waited until it was too late to.
No, that's Cameron. That's me conflating Cameron with Zuckerberg. But that's, I mean,
Right.
maybe Zuckerberg. Oh, Zuckerberg sank the Titanic. Look out, it's a Zuckerberg. Is that
But
the
from Terminator to
joke?
Titanic,
Zuckerberg sank the Titanic.
Well,
great movies, all of them.
yeah.
Well, the second part of Titanic, I'll agree with you.
So, hey, has anybody else noticed that Mark Zuckerberg looks a lot like Data did in TNG?
Now you take
Yeah.
that back. Data at least appears human sometimes.
Maybe
He's
Mark
managed to pick up a few
Zuckerberg.
human
has-
mannerisms, unlike that fucking Zuckerberg.
So maybe Mark Zuckerberg has been spending all this time trying to rescue his father from Area 51.
Possibility.
You almost got crickets on that one.
Resolute. Resolute
I
Germ says
tried to
Avatar
help.
was better as Last of the Mohicans. And Scogli says get animated VR. That was drawn by Dillard. Oh, well, that I would buy. I have a VR headset. If Dillard did a VR game or something, I would get into that. The man is fantastic. So I'm the only one here who's seen Guardians of the Galaxy the Christmas edition, I guess, right? So I don't want
No,
to.
I
I
haven't
need to
seen
know.
it. I haven't
I'm
seen
starting
it.
to think it's canon because no transmedia canonical verisimilitude. So I think you've got an interesting hot topic. Is it canon? Seems to be debate worthy. I'm saying it is canon.
Gentlemen, I do have to take my leave. I have business to conduct.
I'm sorry, Scotty. Thank you for joining us,
what?
though. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that we ran out of time, and I appreciate you being here.
Hey, man, and thank you so much. Again, I knew that this was an off week, but I still wanted to thank you so much for having me be a part of the conversations about the animated series. I've never seen it.
Well, I know
And-
originally you mentioned about us having a discussion about 60s and 70s television. We can always do that. I know we didn't really touch on that much today.
No, but I like talking to you, man.
Likewise.
So we'll do it again sometime.
Well, I will have more rumblings of the lab. I'm hoping to do this maybe at least once a week if I can come up with topics. And it helps when I have wonderful people like you come on the panel. It kind of gives me things and ideas to bounce off of.
Cheers. I would like to be a part of that.
Why don't you tell us about your channel before you go?
I have a channel.
Scotty has a channel, everybody. The Phantasmagorium. I put a
Yes,
link
it
there in
is.
the chat.
No,
Please
I didn't
check
mean
it
to
out.
make you work. I didn't mean to make you work. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't mind.
No.
I did put a link in the chat to your channel.
So just the chat. Just link the chat. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Captain is on there. But you know what? The most fun that I have is when I get to come and play with you and talk about the animated series. Go over to Jill's channel and have tea and talk about the original series. On Wednesdays, I get to play with Kat. We're going to do Batman. We're starting with Batman 1989. And on Thursdays, Jill and I talk about Quantum Leap. And the rest of the time, I don't know, I monkey about.
Fantastic. And that's great you're doing Batman 1989 as long as you're not doing 66. I may end up covering that.
No, well, we're only going to do the movie.
Okay, well, the Tim Burton movie, right?
No. But no, we are going to cover the 66 Batman, but just the movie.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. And thank you for being here.
All right. I'll see you in the future. Thank
I
you
will
again.
see you hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah. For sure. My stars.
Yeah, definitely. We
I can't
got
miss
Shirley
that.
to talk about tomorrow. Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it. And Gorilla, thank you again. I'll see you in the future.
Yeah, we'll see you, Scotty.
Take care, Scotty. Hopefully the captain can come back.
Oh,
Bye, Scotty.
well, it's
There we
getting
go.
it's getting close to being 10 o'clock here.
I know, and I know you've got a long day ahead of you tomorrow, and I appreciate Gorilla.
Yeah, my commute probably will, if I decide to go to work, will be probably about an hour.
Oh, geez. So you definitely have to get up early.
Yeah, it'll go from 15 minutes to about an hour.
Okay, I wanted to thank the chat really quick. I wanted to thank Scogli and Chris Longfellow for being here. I know there for a little bit. Along with Resolute Germ. Thank you, Resolute Germ, for being here as well. And Scotty was here, of course, which we've seen. We saw that Captain Infinity was here. And I think that's everybody, perhaps. I hope I'm not. I don't. Oh, Citizen of the Universe 333 was obviously here. Great input from Citizen and Resolute Germ. And I think that is everybody. And Gorilla, why don't you tell us about your channel before we close this?
Well, they call me Random Thoughts for a reason. Like today, I had my Random Thoughts with the Gorilla. My next stream will be Wednesday. We're watching Stranger Things and doing a live reaction. It's a watch party.
Nice.
Thursdays, we review the Waltons. This Thursday, we're doing the vegan episode, The Hunt. Or would it be the PETA episode? One of the two.
Okay.
The Saturday will be Babylon 5. And Sunday, we're doing a double feature of Home Alone.
Oh, nice. Okay. Have you checked out this new Christmas Story movie yet?
Which, no. I was
Oh,
going to get to watching Violet Night.
okay. Well, I do recommend the Christmas Story movie. It's not as bad as it could have been. It's actually I was pleasantly surprised. I'll say. And thank you, Gorilla. Once again, thank you everybody in the chat. Gorilla, you plugged your channel, and I appreciate Gorilla. Hopefully, you can make it to work and try to join us. Maybe you can lurk during our stream tomorrow for
Well,
the
the boss
story
has
meeting.
already given us permission to stay at home, so and
Well,
I'm pretty sure he's gonna say fuck it because he drives a Charger. So
so if you get to stay home tomorrow, maybe you can join us on the panel.
yeah, maybe if Jill could put up with me for a couple hours.
I think she can possibly manage. Skogly
Yeah.
Skogly sends, I believe that's 2 beers. Cheers. Resolute Germ says, just get yourself a snowplow, Gorilla. You'll get there in record time. And Resolute Germ says, a
Snowplow.
hunt.
Hey,
Go ahead.
snowplows don't work when it's completely ice covered.
And Resolute Germ says, a hunt, aka John Boyle, fails his family. All right. I'm glad I got caught up with the chats this time. Usually, sometimes I accidentally miss some of them, and I feel terrible when that happens. But like I said, everybody, if you're watching this live, if you're in the chat, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the alert button. And if you're watching this on the rerun, I hope you enjoy it as well. Please subscribe to my channel. On Mondays, I usually do the Star Trek The Animated Series reviews. Tuesdays, you'll find me on Anti-Derivative Jill's channel where we cover Star Trek, the original series. On Wednesday, Wonderful Gorilla and I cover Gilligan's Island, which I think is turning out really well, Gorilla. What do you think about our Gilligan's Island stream? It's turning out pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you want to learn some new stuff about Gilligan's Island trivia, behind the scenes info, I highly recommend you tune in. It's an excellent show, and I'm reading from Sherwood Schwartz's book with a lot of info of how he made the show and put it together. Go ahead, Gorilla.
Yeah. Oh, for some reason my short from tonight didn't pop up on my channel there. I was reminiscing that when I got out to the car, it was completely covered in ice. Because I knew school was going to be 2 hours late there. And I was reminiscing. I was like, I even told this to my kid. I told my kid today. He goes, he has no idea how easy he has it here. Because I remember, because right now we just get a phone call, a text, and an email saying if school's going to be canceled or 2 hours late. I told him, I remember when I was your age, I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I walked 10 miles.
Beg your grandma to put on channel 4. Sit there and beg her to put on channel 4. Then to sit there and stare at the bottom of the screen listening to some shitty newscast just to see if my school was on the list for 2 hours late.
Oh, I remember that. For us, it was foggy day schedules. And yeah, I'm California here in Central Valley. I lived in Fresno, and they get some really dangerous fogs. A lot of pileup accidents when it happens. Captain Infinity says, Internet again. My apologies. No apologies necessary, sir. So glad you could join us. Captain, please try to stop by Jill's stream tomorrow if you can hear me. Rezu Germ says, just set the plow a half-inch lower. You take out the ice and the asphalt.
Oh yeah. Like I'm going to get charged for the brand new asphalt they just put down on my road.
And Captain Infinity says, thanks for having me on Pop Culture. It is my pleasure, Captain Infinity. Likewise, I love being on your streams. Gorilla, why don't they put salt down on the road? That doesn't stop the ice?
They do. They actually got a liquid chemical they put on the roads now. But once it gets down to 15 degrees, that don't help. And right now, everything's freezing as soon as it hits. We got what we call freezing rain.
Oh gosh, yeah, I've seen videos where people like dump out a cup of coffee and it freezes before it even hits the ground.
Oh no, that's when it gets down to negative 50.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
that's a completely different thing. The freezing rain it's sitting here like misting and raining, but as soon as it hits anything, it instantly turns to ice.
Jeez, you gotta be careful around that.
Yeah.
Do you cover up the windshield on your car so you don't have to scrape the ice off?
No. Just go out, start the car, and leave it running for about 5 minutes. Because you gotta let your car warm up anyhow. Just
Yeah,
like
you're
we
right about
discussed
that.
on.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Citizen Universe says freezing rain. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Okay. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Without you, this stream would not exist. I do all this for you. I hope you found this entertaining and enlightening. I hope I didn't insult anybody or offend you with my opinions on some of the Hollywood releases that we've been discussing.
No,
And
that's
I
pretty.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's pretty good conversation, and that you and Sky going back and forth. That's pretty good conversation right
And
there.
I do appreciate right. And I do appreciate his opinion. I don't care if people have different opinions than I do. I love hearing all opinions. That's what gives us things to talk about. That's what makes it so interesting. I don't want to hear an echo chamber where we all everybody's in agreement. Yeah, I agree. That gets boring really fast. So I hope Scotty doesn't feel like I was trying to argue with him because I certainly was not. I definitely enjoyed it.
No, that's pretty good. He wasn't offended at all.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you, everybody. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Click that alert button. And I will be having one of these every week. Hopefully, I'm thinking about maybe Sunday nights. I'll do my rumblings from the lab, and I'll have that'll save money for my TAS. So thank you for being here. And Gorilla, please, if you don't have to work tomorrow, please do try to join us on Jill's stream.
Alrighty.
Okay, so
I'll see if she'll put. I'll see if she'll put me here that till fast I can get kicked off.
I need to watch that episode tonight. In fact, I haven't
Nah,
seen it yet.
Shirley's
So
not the one I told.
Okay. I haven't seen Shirley in years, so I need to watch it tonight. So I need to do my homework for tomorrow, actually. But thank you for being here. And if you do have to work tomorrow, drive safe. If you don't, please try to join us, Gorilla.
All right, I will.
All right. And
All
for
right,
everybody
we'll
in the
see ya.
chat, take care, everybody in the chat. Have a wonderful night.